Hey there, friend. Welcome back. This is video number 7 of the Firm My Life course. In the last video, we started talking about relationships. We talked about the power that relationships have in our life, how they can influence us in such incredible ways. We really dialed in on how to look for the red flags, right? Look for the bad things. Look for signs that show us if a person is a negative relationship, if it is a bad relationship. And we dialed in on how to get free from the wrong relationships in our life. But today, I want to talk to you about positive relationships, on how to find and attract the right people into our life. I used the allegory last video of being in a kayak on a river, and then how difficult it is to go against peer pressure, how difficult it is to paddle upstream, and that the real solution was to just get in a different river, right? To just get around the right people. The book of Proverbs in the Bible, it lays out pretty clearly the type of people that we're supposed to have in our life. It says that if we surround ourselves with wise people, we will become wise. Like, there it is. There's the answer. Find wise people, build friendships with them, become a wise person. Right? It's simple. Really not, is it? Sometimes it can be hard to find those people. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So just who should fit into our inner circle? Well, you need to find somebody that pushes you to grow, pushes you to learn, pushes you to change, pushes you to become better, pushes you to take risks, to try things, to stretch yourself, to go after it. That pushes you to succeed in your life, to chase your dreams. Like, you've got to find people that make you better. You've got to find people that want you to have good in your life. You know, if your circle of friends, if every time you guys get around each other, is all you do is run other people down, talk bad about other people, talk about negative things, what do you think they're doing about you when you're not there? Right? They're talking about you. You need to find friends that when you're together, you're talking about the books that you read. You're talking about family. You're talking about leadership. You're talking about business. Like, you're talking about things that matter, things that you can make a difference in, things that cause you to grow, things that cause you to change, right? Like, find those type of people in your life. I heard a statistic the other day. It's crazy. It blew my mind. It said that the number one indicator of the level of a person's wealth is the zip code they were born in. Can you imagine that? It's like when I began to surround myself with the right people, my income went up. My savings went up. My investing went up. Like, it has such an influence on my life. Like, everything began to elevate in my life. I began to think at a higher level. My mindset began to be at a higher level. My faith level, my relationship with God got better. It's like it affected me when I got in the right river. It changed my life. It began to push me, and I began to build momentum. Like, when you are paddling downstream, like, you get to go faster and faster and faster. So listen, it is very important, vital, critical that you get the right people in your life. So how do you do that? I'm going to give you a few things. Here's the first thing that I want you to do. I want you to sit down, take some time, do a little thinking, and write out a list of all the character traits, the personality traits, whatever, of the type of person that you would want in your inner circle. Like, when I first did this, I began to make a list, and I'll only share some of the things with you that was on my list. I remember one of the things that became of just the utmost importance to me was that this person had a faith foundation. I wanted somebody that knew God, somebody that talked to God, somebody that knew how to hear God talk to them. Like, I knew that faith was so important in my life. I knew it was a cornerstone in my life. And so I wanted somebody that also had that relationship with God, who also knew God on that level. So that was one of the things I put on my list. Growth was important to me. Change was important to me. Pushing forward was important to me. So I wanted somebody that was growth-minded. There's a lot of people, like I said in the intro video, that don't think they can change. that don't try, that don't take initiative to do different in their life. I didn't want somebody like that. I wanted somebody that was growth minded, somebody that believed in change, somebody that initiated change. I was looking for somebody that loved people. I wanted somebody that cared about others, that saw the good in others. And I wanted somebody that loved themselves, that cared about themselves, that wasn't just beating themselves all the down, didn't think that, they were worth anything. I wanted somebody that loved people, and I wanted somebody that loved themselves. So I put those things on there. I think this was a no-brainer, but I wanted somebody that was trustworthy. I'd been in those relationships. I shared my story with you in the last video. I wanted somebody I could put some trust in. I could put my confidence in, that I could tell them things and they didn't go around behind my back and share it with other people. I wanted somebody that was reliable. If I needed something, I knew they would be there. If I had a question, I could ask them. If I needed to discuss something tough, something difficult, I could go to them. They were reliable. They were dependable. I wanted somebody that was honest. Somebody that would be truthful with me. Somebody that would look me in the face and say, hey, Nathan, you need to figure this out. Nathan, you need to do better. I wanted somebody that would be honest with me. I wanted somebody that would be flexible. You ever had one of those friends that, you call them and, you want to hang out and, no, we got to do this or no, we got to do that. They don't want to hang out. They won't ever go out of their way. They won't ever, change their schedule for anything you want to do. You're always the one that's trying to make it work. I wanted somebody that was flexible, somebody that would give and take, somebody that, would do their part too to build a relationship. I wanted somebody who was forgiving. I remember putting this one on my list because I had been through such a journey, and even in my own life, and forgiving others, but I'd been through that place. I shared that with you where people, they would hold a grudge and they'd allow that bitterness and hatred to build. I wanted somebody that was forgiving. If I made a mistake, if I said something, if I acted in some way I shouldn't have, and I came back and I tried to make that right, that they would forgive me. They would give me grace. They would let me move forward. I wanted somebody that was financially stable. I'd struggled with my finances a long time, and I was looking for somebody that had a budget, who cared about their finances, who had their house in order, right? Who had an emergency fund, all these things I'm going to talk to you about later on, right? I wanted somebody who put their family first, somebody who prioritized their family, their kids, their marriage. I wanted somebody who prioritized their health and their fitness. I had a lot of things on my list. I got a pretty big list. And as I began to build this list and to write these things out, and I put them all in order, I said, this is the type of person I want. Then I knew that I had to become that person. I want you to write your list. I want you to put some time in it. You can steal my list if you want. You can add to it, take away from it. But when you get that list, you say, this is the kind of person I would like to have in my life. This is the kind of romantic partner. This is the kind of spouse I would like to have. This is the kind of friend group I'd like to have. When you find that and you write that list, here's the key to finding that person and attracting that person. Become that person. Become that kind of friend. I remember as I was a youth pastor, I remember asking a group of boys one time. They were, 16, 17 years old, 18 years old. And I remember asking them, I said, boys, that girl, that hot girl, that you think's just gorgeous, that you're trying to get a date with, I said, if you were them and you knew you as good as you actually do know yourself, would you marry you? Would you date you? If you knew you like you know you? I tell you, that's a pretty good question. Then I told him, I said, guys, become that person that girl, that beautiful girl, that girl that has values, that girl that cares, that girl that is going to help you go places that you need to go. Become the type of man that would attract them. I'm telling you, friend. Here's the number one key to finding the right relationships is becoming the kind of person that person would want to be friends with. All right, so that's the very first thing that you've got to do. But now I want to give you a list of things that you just need to really adopt into your life. And if you will add these things to who you are, like this will make you so much more of an attractive person to those type of people. So here they are. Here's the first thing that you need to do. If you want to have friends, be friendly, right? Like I've heard people talk about it and they'd be like, I just don't have no friends. There's nobody wants to hang around with me. I'm like, dude, you're a very boring person. You don't ever talk to anybody. You don't ever reach out to anybody. You're no fun, right? Like, why would anybody want to be your friend? Like, if you want to have friends, be friendly. And I think I mentioned it right there, but also be fun. Like, I've been around those people who are just boring. They're the party pooper, right? They don't ever try anything. They don't ever participate. Like, they're just always standoffish. I was that person for so long because I was so inconfident. Like, be friendly, be fun. Now, here's another one. Get a hold of this one. Listen more than you speak. Like, God gave us one mouth and two ears for a reason. And people love to talk. Especially, they love to talk about themselves. So if you can learn the ability to listen and to truly listen, like, my friend, it makes you so much more of an attractive person. Learn how to listen. Learn how to make eye contact. Learn how to be involved when you're there. Be where your feet are, right? Like, be in the moment. Learn how to listen. And here's another tip. Learn how to remember names. Like, it seems so simple, but it's actually a very powerful thing. And even to this day, when somebody calls my name that I know don't know me very well, but I know that they made a point to remember my name, like, it does something inside of me. It just makes me feel good. It just makes me like that person because they remembered my name. And that's been hard for me because, like, I can ask somebody their name and I can hear it and then 2 seconds later I forget it. And so I've kind of had to try to, like, develop some skills on how to remember them. And so a couple of those is when somebody tells you your name, repeat it back. It's just like hearing it and then saying it. It just seems to just cement it more into your mind. Like, it's so much easier for me to remember when I do that. And then what I do, especially if it's somebody that I really want to remember their name, like, as soon as I get a chance, I write it down in my phone. I text it to myself or I put it in my notes or something. And so the next time that I meet that person, I can pull it out, see it, and repeat it back. So when I've heard it, when I've repeated it, and when I've wrote it down, and especially after I see them one more time and repeat it again, like, it's usually there. I usually can remember it from then on. So there's a couple tips for you on remembering names. Now, here's another one. Be a positive person. Don't always be that person that's just talking negative, right? The person who always sees the bad, who always sees it failing, who always sees it falling apart. Like, be the positive person. There's so much negativity in this world. It's everywhere. Like, if you will be positive and you'll find the bright side of things, you will stand out among the crowd. You've got to remember that you're always making somebody feel something. Let me say that again. You're always making somebody feel something. And people will forget what you say, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. That's a big thing. It's very powerful. So make sure when you're around people that you're positive, that you're friendly, that you're fun, that you remember their names. And if you'll take these skills and you'll begin to put them into your arsenal, like, you begin to put them in your quiver, right? And you begin to have some arrows there and some weapons that you can use, some things that you have in your favor, you're going to begin to attract those people in your life. Now, here's another thing, a big one. You can't expect to find the type of people that you want in your life at places they don't hang out. Like, you've got to go where they are. You've got to find where those kind of people hang out. And sometimes that takes stretching ourselves. That takes doing some hard stuff. That takes getting out of your comfort zone. But do it. Stretch yourself. My friend, you've already come this far. You've already did some tough things. So if you want to surround yourself with wise people, find out where the wise people are hanging out and go there. Be there. And then use these little tools, these little things that I've given you, and you will find that those people are attracted to you. All right, in the next lesson, video number 8, we're going to talk about some money principles. All right, and we're going to learn how to really dial in on some financial stability, because there's no true stability without financial stability. All right, I'll see you there.